Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of My Perspective Podcast with your boy, Big Hawk. Thank you so much for tuning in with me for another episode and another great conversation. Shout out to all my new subscribers. Thank y'all so much for rocking out with me. And we pushing 300 subs, man. Thank y'all so much. Can't do it without you. I'm glad y'all joined the tribe. Thank you for just allowing me to give you a little insight, a little nugget, wisdom, whatever you want to call it. And you appreciate so much that you want to be a part of the team, man. I appreciate that. Thanks a lot. To all my day ones, double salute. Y'all the platform I stand on. Y'all the platform I build upon. So thank y'all for that. Keep letting people know about me. Tell somebody. Let go to the channel. Got great things in store. Um, Thank y'all for being a part of the team. Before we get started, you know how we do it. Disclaimer. Take what I say with a grain of salt. And I ain't got no letters behind my name. I ain't graduated from college. I got a high school diploma. That's it. I'm just an old head with a microphone and a message. But I hope what I say resonate with you. I hope that it provokes thought. And I also hope that it provokes change. But if not, no harm, no foul. 'Cause guess what? It's just my perspective. Let's get into it. Man. This is a conversation I've been trying to avoid for a long time. But I don't think God let me avoid it. Uh, and the only reason it's in my chest so strong now is because I just been hearing the conversations over and over and over again about women. We're gonna have a conversation about it today. Y'all just let me know in the comments what you think. If you think I'm wrong, call me out. If you think I'm right, man, clap your hands. It's all good, but it just I'm giving you game based on my experience, based on how I see things, based on what I've been through. That's it. Tell you what I say with a grain of salt, like I said earlier. But I want to know, man, why on earth, so many women, um, I'm gonna be bold today, have the audacity to say they will let a man lead them. I don't understand that terminology. I don't understand that phrase. I need y'all to help me understand that because when I hear it, I cringe when I hear it. Not because I'm a male chauvinist, not because I'm ego driven, got nothing to do with none of that. Um, it's just funny that you hear so many women say they tired of being strong. They're tired of being the leader. They ready to be led. They ready to sit down and be quiet and let a man be a man. But in the same breath, these same women get agitated or get triggered of some sort, some kind of trigger, move them to a position to where, oh, I let him lead if he know how to be a leader. What does that mean, ladies? Maybe it's a good meaning. I'm just not privy to the definition of the meaning. Or I just don't quite understand what y'all mean when y'all say that. Because when I hear that, to me, it comes across as you dominating your man. You dominating, you controlling, are you trying to control the relationship or the outcome of the narrative? That's how I hear it. And so when I hear it that way, I instantly pump my brakes and I instantly like just turn a deaf ear because me as a man, you can't let me do nothing. Now you can choose to walk away from my leadership. That's different, but you can't tell me I'm leading wrong and you gonna lead from now on. Or this is how you supposed to lead. Number one, you ain't a man. Number two, you can be a leader. You can be a leader. However, men and women insight is different. So you can lead from your limitation, and I'm gonna lead from my limitation. But when it comes to hierarchy, it's just an order of thing. I know we live in a new day and time. I know it's a different dynamic. I know things are different. So old rules may not apply to everybody. But for me, I'm still old school. I'm still primarily traditional. So, you know, it's just in my nature to be a leader. I watched my dad lead his house. I watched how he led his house, and I took a lot of my leadership from my father, but I added my own twist to it though. So it ain't just one way. I evolved based on um, times, circumstances, what relationship I'm in, so on and so forth. So I don't believe in just a cookie cutter way of doing things, but I do believe in a proper foundation about doing things. So let's be clear. Like, I don't think one size fit all. I don't think that. But what I do believe and what I do stand on um, is the foundation of man, man, woman, child, or God, whoever you subscribe to, man, woman, child. That's the foundation I subscribe to. Unfortunately, most people say they subscribe to that same standard, that same foundation, but they really don't, because when it's time for the rubber to meet the road, it's something totally different. It's one thing to want something, ladies, want a real man to lead, want a man to guide and protect and provide. But it's something totally different when you just desire something that you've never seen before, of you or you never experienced before. I'm saying that because when you get a man who's a leader, who's a protector, who's a provider, you're gonna see things you may not like. Because being a leader is not a it's not glamorous, because a leader has to make the tough decisions. As y'all know, a leader has to still lead even when he's not liked, still lead when everybody's against his leadership, his style, and he still has to push through until the results, until you get the desired results. And that's a lonely place to be. That's a lonely place to be. Um, when you're in leadership of a family, man, the man is a true leader, a good man, a solid man, the hardworking man. I'm not talking about the richest joke in the room. I'm talking about just a blue collar, hardworking, about his business man. He ain't gonna be like as much as you think you is. You ain't gonna be like that. Your kids gonna be talking crazy about you. Your wife ain't gonna be with everything you say. Or your girl ain't gonna be with everything you say, because it ain't comfortable. You have to make decisions that are not comfortable. That's one of the negatives of being a leader. But when the results come, everybody, yay, everybody jumping for joy, everybody's excited, everybody is celebrating. But before you get to the end, man, you the most hated. But the Bible talks about that. A man ain't without honor except for in his own home, his own country. Is the people you love the most treat you the worst? Y'all hear me say that time and time again. And relationships ain't no different. Not because they hate you, not because they don't love you. A lot of times I'm discovering in dating later in life, they just don't understand because they ain't never seen it. Most women ain't never seen what they want. They see what Instagram show them, they see what social media show them, but they never experience it for themselves, and therein lies the problem. When you want something different, you have to be mindful and be humble and just observe, take notes, and watch. See if it's something you like or not, instead of just reacting. Because most of y'all just react. Most of y'all just react. Y'all don't take notes. Y'all don't ask questions. Y'all don't observe and just study the situation, see what's going on. Y'all just react because you never seen it before. You're not accustomed to it, and then boom, combustion. We trying to prevent the combustion. That's by you got to be careful what you ask for. And I know I'm rambling, but I'm not rambling. Sound like I'm rambling, but I'm not. I'm going somewhere with it. We're gonna break it down a little bit. You have to you have to observe your man, observe your love interest, you know, before you start making decisions of commitment, making decisions in relationships. We need to observe one another. But today I'm talking about the women, because I've been hearing too many times about how the ladies are telling the men what you're gonna let them do and what you're not gonna let them do. Like, I'm trying to understand what you mean, but you can't come at a man any kind of way. I'm sorry, you just can't come at a man any kind of way, and it's gonna be received uh positively. Just it's hard to do that. Men will take it for a while, but it's gonna come to a boiling point. Then pressure bust pipe. Then he gonna snap. And you got a whole bunch of unnecessary arguing and stuff that could have been avoided uh, just by studying and observing, taking notes, watching for the red flags. Watching for things you may or may not like, and address them. In a timely manner, but also in a proper manner. If you don't study your partner, this go for men and women. But if you don't study your partner, you don't know what make him tick. You don't know what make her tick. How you gonna get the best response or the best reaction at your partner when you having a tough conversation? If you don't know him, if you don't study him, what we tend to do, see something we don't like, react, boom, take off. The person blindside don't know what's going on, don't know where it's coming from, all because you got in your feelings instead of just addressing it in a communicative way instead of in an argumentative way. But let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Let's go back. Listen, I understand why women are so strong. So I don't want to discredit women. I don't want to take nothing away from women. I'm not a woman basher. I'm not a woman hater. I'm probably the black woman's number one supporter. I think I am one of them anyway, because man, ain't nothing that God ever created that is better than a black woman. That's my opinion. I stand on it. I see it in front of the president, in front of the judge, in front of a room full of white people. I don't care. No hate, no prejudice. It's just my opinion. The strongest person on the planet is a black woman. That is the best thing God ever created, in my opinion. Maybe I'm biased because I'm a black man, but it's okay. That's how I feel based on my experience in life. However, a lot of things done took place over the years, um, from slavery on to this day, that has caused friction, division, and toxicity in the black family, in black relationships. It can be fixed, but pride got to be taken away, ego got to be taken away, and communication has to be installed in order to get the best out your relationship. Ladies, let me tell you something. Ain't nobody tougher than y'all. Ain't nobody tougher than a black woman. Ain't nobody. Y'all, what y'all have to endure by us as men and by the world in general, can't nobody take what y'all take. I mean, we can go. We can go on and on and on. Um, Case in point, the oldest bones ever found or ever discovered was said to be the bones of an African woman, and they named the bones Lucy. I feel like um, um, ain't nobody greater. I think the black woman was the first person ever discovered on the planet. I know we go by Adam and Eve, this and that, but if you study your Bible, but more importantly than the Bible, to help break down the Bible, the Strong's Concordance, uh, the definition for Adam, even though it's spelled Adam, the definition is based on atom, Atom. That definition means the smallest part of the largest sum. That's in the Strong's Concordance that breaks down the Bible word for word. Now, the definition of Eve is short for evolution. Now, I don't know why Christians don't believe in evolution, but in the Strong's Concordance that breaks down and defines every word in the Bible, the King James Version, you name it, Eve is short for evolution, which means forever evolving, forever evolving. oldest found bone was the bones of a black woman. That's how great y'all are. Long tenure. Y'all been around before anybody. Y'all are the nurturers and the creators of mankind. Did you also know that women, if there was no men left on the earth, women can procreate without a man? Y'all have chromosomes in y'all that activate in in the case of no male activity. If there was no male activity in existence, y'all still can procreate on your own. That's how great women are, particularly black women. Let's fast forward a little bit in today's time. Um, Over time, things have changed. Um, a lot, mostly due to government. A close second is how we treated our women, how the men treated the women. But all of that came to be primarily by government. I know it's a controversial subject. Y'all don't want to really, I get fought about it a lot, but I stand on what I believe in. I stand on what I know to be true based on what I've studied. So, women's lib, that was the white woman's issue. That wasn't the black woman's issue. We was already segregated. We couldn't be a part of the white society. We had to be on the other side of the tracks. Y'all remember that, right? African American marriage, African American relationships were strong. We was at a divorce rate of about maybe 15% in those times. We had strong family union, a strong family structure, and we had a strong middle class in the African American community due to our strong family dynamic and strong family culture. Uh, on the other side of the tracks, the white man was beating his women. The white man was marginalizing and oppressing their women. They couldn't do anything, couldn't work, couldn't have no money, couldn't get no nothing. So they enlisted the help of the black woman in their fight. And what y'all wouldn't have did? Y'all joined their fight. Y'all joined the fight. Got them their rights, and they kicked y'all to the curb. Bike across the track with no privileges, with no power. But y'all made them powerful. And guess what that did? That broke up. That was the beginning of the demise of the black family. Because guess what? Now here comes uh, the jobs being taken away. And it's all by design. All by design. They took the jobs out of the inner cities of America. Well, primarily, and well, the dominant worker was African men. The dominant workers was black men, African American men. They took the jobs out of the inner city, all across America, not just in Detroit, all across America. Moved them out to the suburbs. We don't have any cars. We didn't have the luxury of buying cars, this and that, at a higher rate as our white counterpart. So guess what? We couldn't keep the jobs. So guess what the men did? The men turned to selling drugs or getting on drugs because the pressure was too much for them. But here comes the government to save the day. The government instituted a plan to help families uh, maintain their homes, maintain, a decent living under one condition: the man couldn't be in the home. Section 8, uh, uh, food stamps and things like that. They provided housing and stipend for food every month, but under one condition: the male could not be in the home. So let me ask you a question. If you know that, if you just not knowing that, who broke up the family? Who broke up the dynamic of the black family? Was the black men sorry and just didn't want to do nothing, or was a wedge put between you and your man? I know the answer to that. I want y'all to ponder on that. So when they instituted that, married couples had to split up in order for the children to have food and shelter, and the woman. The man had to get out the house and fend for himself. So guess what he did? He went home to mama until he got on his feet. We all know how mamas are. Mamas ain't gonna let their children go out. They're gonna make it do what it do. And that's what happened. And that was the beginning of the end of the black family and the black family dynamic and the black family structure. That was the beginning of the end. It's stragglers and it's no good dudes in every situation. But primarily it stemmed from that. And the trickle down effect we feeling to this day. Then you take into account uh, men who got offended by this and their family stayed together. Now he hard on his woman because he felt like she turned on him because she went to go fight a fight that wasn't her fight. And that so-called help caused the trickle-down effect of the demise of the black family. So the man angry. So he began to treat you a little different. He began to be rough and he began to verbal abuse and sometimes physically abuse. I'm not saying it's right because it ain't right. However, you damage his pride, you damage his ego. When you chose the government over your man. When you chose the government over your man. I understand you gotta take care of your kid. That's why he ain't tripped. That's why he went to his mama house. But you gonna just leave him there? That's what a lot of y'all did. Until they had to start dealing drugs and doing all those other little hustles. And when things got too much, they started using drugs and shit the hell with it. I'm not saying it's right, but that's what happened a lot of times. That was the demise of the black family. That's where it started from. It didn't start from men just being sorry. It didn't start from men just being lazy. It was orchestrated by the government because there's power in unity. When man and woman, boyfriend and girlfriend, husband and wife becomes one, raise their kids together, grow their family together organically. That's power in that. There's power in that. And they broke it up because they knew everybody in the world know who the African American Negro is. Unfortunately, most of us don't. That's why we just take whatever we see. That's whatever they give. We just eat whatever they give us, and we just go with status quo. But no, we're powerful, and we're more powerful together than we are apart. So this breakdown, it still goes on to this day. Now you got angry women because their husband and their boyfriend kicking them to sleep. Angry, mad at it, beating on them. Then they got family over here, and they got this family here. Yeah, they feel away. Now y'all feel away. So guess what y'all begin to do? Y'all begin to infuse and instill bull job into these kids. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. The women begin to coddle the boys and begin to take their frustration out on the girls. The man was out working all day. He come home and put out fights when he get home, but he ain't home. He working all day. So the mama, she mad because she ain't getting treated right. She teach her daughter how to be strong, how to be independent. Don't depend on no man for nothing. But then turn around and treat the little boy like he should be treating the daughter. Coddle him. Wait on him hand and feet. Make him feel like everything supposed to come to him on a silver platter. When he's supposed to be the protector and the provider. And this is how the trickle down effect that we see in today. And men, you're not absolved from your wrongdoing because y'all just as wrong too. Um, a real man um, ain't finna get mad and just walk off. Most men suffer in silence. Most men stay. Now, I ain't finna sit up here and say we perfect because we ain't. We might have a little something on the side to get us through the day. I ain't saying it's right. I'm saying it's what it do. But we don't leave our family 9 times out of 10. Some of us do. Most of us don't. So now you got this angry black woman who teaching their children uh, poor methods of living, poor methods of coping. And now these children got this information. and they out in the world running with it. You beat your daughter down so hard, so much, so tough on your daughter. She can't wait to get out the house. So she jump off the porch early, get Section 8, get this, get that. Don't know how to be an adult. She a kid trying to be grown. Boom. Now she out there in the world fending for herself. Cause she tired of you kicking her to sleep. The boy like, that's her, that ain't me. Mama waiting on me head and toe. I get the latest and the greatest. She feed me good. She treat me like she supposed to be treated like she should have treated my daddy. But she treated me like that. Now I'm just lazy. You know, I'm coddled. I can get whatever I want. Whatever I ask for, she breaking it to get it for me. But that daughter, she gotta pay for everything. Got to teach you how to be tough. Got to be so these girls are forced to be tough and forced to be independent. Not to mention, you got these vultures that see you young, you're innocent, you're impressionable, and boom, take advantage of you. You might be strong and you might can take care of yourself, but your mind ain't there. Men come and deceive you. Older men come and deceive you. Put them churn in you, lead you to take care of them churn for yourself. You see the terrible cycle we in? So now you force. You thought this man was gonna help you take care of your kids. He ain't do it. So now you forced to be the man, the woman. You forced to be the man, the woman. If I'm wrong in any way, shape, or form, y'all call me out. I ain't trying to talk down or treat nobody, say nothing out the way. I'm just calling how I see it. Y'all take it with a grain of salt. And these women get tired of living on the system. Get tired of begging a man to be a daddy. I get it. So now you going there working 2 and 3 jobs. You're going to get your education. You're going to get your degrees so you can provide a better life for your kids. I got all respect for that. All respect for that. But here's the problem when y'all are forced to take on that role. Y'all begin to wear it like a badge of honor. Y'all begin to wear that independence, that strong independence as a badge of honor. So when you get a good man or you see a good man who's interested, you won't give him the time of day because of the trauma you experienced from a no good joker you gave a chance to. And one thing about a man don't care about your accolades like you care. He don't care about how much money you make like you care. He don't care about your accomplishments like you care. Now he think it's cool that you got motion. We love to see a woman in motion, doing things. Got her own back, got it going on. However, when it comes to the family dynamic, you got to get back in your place. You got to get back in your place. There's roles, there are universal roles for a reason. And if everybody would play their role, there will be harmony and unity amongst the black family, amongst any family for that matter, But everybody is out of position these days. The man out of position, the woman out of position, the kids out of position. And everybody barking and playing the victim and pointing the finger, and nobody won't come together to communicate, to create a foundation that's suitable and conducive for your household. Like I said, I don't believe in cookie cutter. I don't believe in one size fit all. But I do believe in two people coming together to build, to figure out a foundation to build on that work best for you. You got betas, you got alphas, and you got sigmas for a reason. All three of these exist in men for a reason. But you gotta learn your partner so you can get in where you feel it, so you know how to better uh, uh, make that family structure and that family dynamic run optimally and run the best it can run as possible. Think about it. Just because you feel a certain way, take the time to study your partner. Men and women. Men, study your lady. Ladies, study your man. Because all I've been hearing in these days, and it's been a while, but these last few months it's been crazy. Um, I got my nursing degree. I got my real estate license. I got my mortgage broker license. I'm a business owner. I'm this, I'm that. That's fine and well. That's fine and well. But when it comes to being in a relationship and you say you want a traditional relationship, What that got to do with anything? What that care? How did that factor into the dynamic of the relationship when the man supposed to be the head? That you say you want it. You say you want that man to be the head. So you get a real man who know how to lead. You ain't never seen him before in real time. So you see it as you ain't finna control me. You ain't running nothing. Who you think you is? Like all that stuff, cause you never seen it. You don't know how it is. But you'll go on that job. You'll go on that job and let that white man, that white woman, your boss, whoever it may be, he or she, tell you something, won't think twice about it, won't bat their eyes. You gonna do it, or you gonna get rolled up, or you gonna lose your job. But all y'all want to say, "Oh, I'm getting paid on that job." So what the man doing? Is he paying the bills? Mostly or all? Is he getting up in the middle of the night when the alarm go off? Like when the kids get in trouble, is he coming to chastise and defend and reprimand on your behalf? Like they don't deserve no respect. And if you got a man who ain't that kind of guy, you gotta make a decision. You gotta make a decision to walk away or stay and try to work it out through the proper channels. So many people stay in relationships to save face and miserable. They're miserable. Man, I don't know about you, but I ain't living like that. I did it for a long time, man. No more. No more. I'd rather be by myself than be miserable in a relationship. That's man, suffering in silence suck. Suffering in silence suck. Communicate. Communicate. If you call things out that you may have a problem with in the preliminary, that'll save you a lot of time, a lot of heartache. But we ain't calling out. We just enjoying the ride. And then because we think what you bring to the table is enough, the love I got to give is enough. And it ain't enough. You got to strategize, prioritize, and compartmentalize your stuff. The good, the bad, the ugly. Study your person. But we ain't doing that. We just thinking, I'm enough. No, you a start, but you ain't enough if you don't put the work in to study, plan, and build. If we don't study, plan, and build, we ain't enough by ourselves. Love definitely is not enough. You know how many people who was in love with me still left me? Love ain't enough. I thought I was a great guy, a great boyfriend. Thought I was a great husband, but they still left because love ain't enough. Because we ain't study one another. We ain't strategize like we should. We ain't prioritize like we should. And we doggone show didn't compartmentalize like we should. And guess what? One thing a woman gonna do faster than a man, she gonna choose herself. She gonna say F them kids and F that nigga too. She gonna choose her. She gonna walk away. A man, on the other hand, he primarily gonna stay and suffer in silence to make sure his kids straight, to make sure his family straight, make sure his household still straight. Maybe he's trying to save face. I don't know. But we tend to stay and y'all tend to leave. When y'all get tired, y'all out of there. We get tired, we'll still stay. We might do a little slide, but we'll still stay. I'm just keeping it real. They don't make it right. That's kind of how it go. But what I'm asking today is, I've been asking the same thing almost every talk show. Let's talk about it. Let's work. Let's call it out before it get too bad, so we can know if the relationship worth keeping or is it worth uh, parting ways before the feelings get involved. Before you start accumulating things together. Before the children come, all that stuff. And I don't even want to talk about blended families. God don't mind it. Blended families, boy. I heard a man say, and I thought it was a harsh statement, but man, experiencing it for myself, he might be on to something. Uh, heard a gentleman say, taking care of another man's children is mental illness. I thought it was a harsh statement when I first heard it. I really did. But being in a relationship with females who have children and then creating a blended family. That's a tough, tough, tough assignment for any man, for anybody, especially the men. And because if you get with a woman who got kids, she's a package deal. You have to accept her and what come with her, and that's fair. I have no problem with that. I dated women, with children. My, the marriage I'm in now, blended family. But is it tough? Yeah, it's very difficult. Very difficult. I'm gonna tell you why. It ain't difficult because we don't want it to work. You got a woman who got kids, who she love with everything in her chest. You got a man who I'm just gonna call Johnny Come Lately. She don't know how you gonna take to her kids. She don't know how you gonna treat her kids. So when you start making demands, I ain't gonna say demand. When you start making changes and suggesting changes, now she feel like she got to love you more than she love her children. Ladies, I want you to know that you'll never love a man more than you love your kids. I was married for 18 years, and my kids was instantly at top of the list in my wife's eyes. Instantly, instantly. For a long time, I was a little bit jealous. I was a little bit jealous. I'm gonna keep it a buck, but I had to learn. And children, number one. I know it's an order thing, but them children, number one. But now, and they do it for me too. We made sure them kids had their needs met before we had our needs met. That's kind of how it goes. So think about a blended family. He don't know what you had to do to raise your kids. He don't know what you had to go through to raise your kids because, and 9 times out of 10, he ain't studied. He ain't observed the situation to see how you run your house. There's one thing y'all gotta do, ladies, in blended families. You set the tone because those are your kids. You set the tone. You set the tone. You let the kids know if you're in a relationship, what's gonna take place moving forward. And then he comes behind you and reinforces that. Now the kids see mom and daddy or mama and new nigga on the same page. Mama and Johnny come lately on the same page. I can't play one, I can't play them against each other because they're on the same page. If you don't set the tone for the home of a blended family, ladies, it's gonna create chaos. It's gonna create chaos. It's gonna create chaos. And then that man gonna begin to resent you and them kids. He's gonna begin to resent you and them kids if you don't set the tone. Because I don't care how you want to slice it. If that man is living with you and your kids, and it's really bad if he got outside kids, y'all gonna be taking pictures, Christmas pictures, birthday pictures. He gonna be there like he the dad, this and that. Children gonna be looking from the outside, like, dang, that ain't. You see what I'm saying? So you got to set the tone because he already catching flat from his outside family because he ain't there with them. Set the tone. If you set the tone, the family dynamic will be much, much better, much, much different, much, much smoother. But y'all are afraid to set the tone because you feel like you putting that man over your kids. You don't love them more than you love your children. But the dynamic is that man, woman, child. That's the dynamic. That's the dynamic. No more, no less. And when they see that, they will fall in line. One or two may buck. You got a few that's gonna buck, but if y'all together, it's gonna be minimum. Push come to shove, they go live with their daddy for a while, and they see the grass ain't green on the other side. They'll come back and they'll fall in line. It can work, but the woman has to set the tone, and that's the struggle of a woman dealing with a blended relationship. That's what I've seen. If I'm wrong, call me out. Let me know something different. The women I've seen that set the tone in a blended family in a relationship, their family dynamic was almost seamless, as if that new man was just like their daddy. And by no means am I saying men go try to be somebody else's child daddy. However, you have to be a father figure. You have to be that role model. That's what you signed up for when you took on a girl with some children. That's what you signed up for. So take that responsibility because those kids didn't ask to be here. They are not responsible for the decision that mom and daddy make. So if you take on a woman who has children, those are your kids essentially too. You still have to be a father figure to those children. I ain't saying take the daddy place, because that's their daddy. But if you live in the house with that woman, you have to be that father figure and that role model to them kids. And if you don't, that's gonna create tension and friction as well. I know all too well. I done been on both sides of that thing. I done been super stepdad and got stepped on, and I done been the nigga who didn't care about nobody. Them and my kids. I done been both of them, and each scenario is equally as damaging, equally as toxic if the woman don't set the tone. Ladies, please set the tone in your relationship when you blend the families. And fellas, when your children come over to visit, you got to set the tone with them too. You have to set the tone with them too. And y'all have to be together. Two are better than one, and a threefold cord is not easily broken. If y'all know what that means, if you know, you know. But y'all have to be together. And if y'all want God to be in the midst of y'all relationship, you got to be together. If it's division, you ain't got nothing. But some good toxic fun, and they ain't gonna last long. But hey, that's just my 2 cents. Men are simple. We want some food, we want some sex, and we want a little peace. And we want our woman to believe in us. If a woman believes in her man, he'll run through a brick wall and make it happen every time. When a woman don't believe in her man, it'll miss what you get. It'll miss what you get. If a man ain't loving his woman right, giving her the nurture she needs, you will get the loyalty and the faithfulness that you desire. But if you ain't gonna love her right, give her what she needs, love her how she needs to be loved, support her, nurture her in that way, it's hit or miss. It's hit or miss. Some people work through it as long as they can, but eventually, pressure busts pipes. Infidelity, separation, one of the two. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care how you slice it. Infidelity or separation is gonna take place. One of the two. And we trying to stop that. We trying to rebuild the black family. We trying to rebuild black culture. We trying to rebuild the black family dynamic, whether blended or whether organically or whether naturally. We trying to build the family dynamic back to a strong place where it once was before Jim Crow, before the government busted our situation up. It can be done, but you got to take away the pride, take away the ego, and it can happen. Let's make it happen. For those of us who older, who already got grown kids, we got grandkids, teach it to your kids and grandkids so it can trickle down. Because if you don't, it's not going to repeat itself and it's going to get worse and worse, worse, worse and worse. That's just where we at. That's my little 2 cents a day. Take what I say with a grain of salt. But everything I said, it came out of love. It's your boy Big Hawk, My Perspective Podcast. Till next week, peace. Love y'all.